What is going on, esteemed witnesses of the courtroom? This is the Croc to bring you a Gold Silver Crystal TGBdual 2nd generation Wi-Fi battle. And today we've got a new team that I have been working on. I know 2nd gen has been dormant forever, but hopefully we can get it back going. Anyway, let's get started. We got a Raikou lead. I know that I want to go for Spark. I want to both scout ground types, and of course Spark having that 1 in 3 para chance without having to sack an accuracy drop is really awesome. And this team is all about para support, so he's just firing off hidden power respectively, so he doesn't want me to find out exactly which electric move he carries, which would give me insight into how to counter this Raikou effectively. So he just decides to continue firing hidden powers. I'm going to assume immediately that it's ice. Most of them are ice unless they're water or something strange, so I'm going to go right out into Dick Gunkshoe. Hope you guys get that. He's going to go into Fat Man, his Snorlax. Now, as long as this Snorlax, however it's set up, I actually go into Muck and go for Sludge Bomb, baiting out his Steel type, if he does indeed have one in this form of a Skarmory. Now, if you guys didn't see just there, I do have a Gengar on this team. I go in on the Toxic, so he's probably Toxic, Whirlwind, etc. Attack, maybe Curse, maybe Rest. Now, he goes to immediately out into Shatterax. Now, the fact that he goes into this pretty much tells me that he's going to be a Pursuit T-Tar. Most don't carry both Pursuit and Crunch, so I am free to Perish Trap this thing to oblivion, and that's not going to be an issue. It would have been nice to Perish Trap his Steel type, considering it walls my main idea and sweeping potential, but that's not too big a deal because I feel like Shatterax is going to go away now. He decides to go for the Rock Slide here. It does an absolute ton of damage, but Von Karma puts in so much work. I figure Athena Psychs my Vaporeon is the best thing to take a Rock Slide on the defensive side, and he's going to lose it anyway and he can't switch out. So T-Tar is going to be out of the way with the Perish Trap. So that's one big threat out of the way. Just on the ideal that he did not have Crunch, and Gengar was able to come in and deal with it and Perish Trap it. Now, Gengar Perish Trap is not super common, so now he's going to show me a Cloyster, and I'm like, okay, he's probably going to want to set up spikes right here, so I'm going to go into Damon Gant, but he makes a very different kind of play. Going to force my rest far before the time that I want to, but I am rest talk, so that's not too big a deal, and it kind of helps me in the end too. So he brings in Rich Palm, because, you know, this guy's a palm bitch. He goes into Executor, and I have a wonderful Raikou that I can rest talk off all of his shots if he is pretty much mono special attack, sleep powder, etc. Now, if it's that said, he's probably going to carry Explosion, but he can't go for the Explosion as long as my Gengar's around, because I'll definitely switch into it and he'll lose it for nothing. So now he's going to go back into Fat Man because he figures it's time for his big hero to come in and start wrecking shit. So he's going to start cursing up. So I was like, alright, I'm going to go into Athena Psychs because I know I can deal with that respectively, because I have Reflecting Roar to pseudo-phase this thing away. It's not even a big deal anymore. Return brings me to 277 after Leftovers Residual Recovery, and now I can double back out into Von Karma thinking that this thing is mono-attacking Curslax, considering that he brought a Pursuit T-Tar to trap any ghosts that deal with it. So now, I'm going to go into Ray Shields, and he's going to go into Ursulith, his Cloyster, once again. Now, I decide to Toxic this thing, because the worst thing Cloyster can really do to me is Surf me or Ice Beam me, respectively, for just stab damage. But if this thing is not carrying Rest or Explosion, Toxic will wear down this physical wall quite nicely, which is a very good thing. Now, I almost go into... I do decide to go back into Muck, but as long as Thallium is running around that Skarmory, I can't really do anything. And you see, Muck takes that like a champ. I am actually the same setup as a mono-attacking Curslax, except I am mono-attacking Muck, which is fantastic. With Paralysis support, it lets his longevity go off. So now he's going to go back to Thallium, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to mean look something, no matter what it is. It happens to be this Executor, and since I only have Thunderbolt, as far as special attacks, I can't really specially hurt this Executor, but I can go out to Ray Shields, and as long as it doesn't have Hidden Power Fire, I am not too scared of this thing, and then I double back out into Raikou, predicting some kind of sleep powder shenanigans, which A, I'm already asleep, and B, I'm a rest talker with HP Ice. So, I get my Spark off here, I get another para, Raikou doing serious work already, special defense is going to go down, but because I don't have the rest talk and I can just switch out of that special defense drop, it's not too massively of a big deal. considering. So now he's going to go on not a fat man once again, and I totally just derp on a stick and forget that I'm sleeping. So instead of rest talking, I go directly for Spark because I'm not thinking. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm resting again. He goes back out to Rich Palm, trying to be a Palm bitch once again. Hidden Power Ice doing a very, very significant chunk, guaranteed 3-hit KO. But this is a very fantastic situation because as long as Gengar is still running around here, he cannot explode on me. And he keeps trying so hard to predict the Gengar switch with both Sleep Powder and Psychic respectively. And it's just making things much harder for him. So now I'm going to go into my Snorlax, my body double. You guys won't get that if you haven't played Miles Edgeworth 2. Yeah, anyway, so he's going to toxic my body double. I'm going to Lovely Kiss him because putting this phaser in Lovely Kiss mode in the bitch position is the best thing I need to do. If I was Belly Drum Lax, it would pretty much ensure me the game right here. Which, looking at it, I might switch this for Belly Drum Lovely Kiss Lax because it pretty much accomplishes the same thing and it would make dealing with other Snorlaxes and etc., especially Curse Lax variants, much easier. So, leave your comments down below if you think that's a good idea. Anyway, I'm going to go back into Von Karma here because I'm trying to catch this thing on a turn that he'll obviously go back into this thing, and I can either Thunderbolt him or Mean Look him. So, I'm trying so hard to get that Skarmory out of my way because I know very, very well that Muck can't come in at that point. However, the fact that this Executor is paralyzed is fantastic for Muck coming in here. And T-Tar being out of the way also helps Muck a lot. So, this Palm bitch, I know, it's just fantastic. He's going to get another special defense drop on my body double. Now, the fact that my body double is poison, it is going to be worn down. And like I said, I'm looking at this here, and I feel like a mixed Fire Blasting Lovely Kiss Drum 1 attack would just be just about fantastic for this team. Well, 1 attack mean Body Slam, so I can pretty much paralyze stuff before I deal with stuff. So I'm going to go back out to Athena Sykes. I'm going to wall this thing back in the face. I'm going to go back into Gengar. Again, I'm pretty much convinced this thing is mono-attacking Snorlax, and his other move is kind of strange. So he predicts me to go into the Muck right here, predicting that I have a free setup on pretty much the Executor, only having to take a Psychic or anything like that. And he goes out into Raikou now. Kind of surprised that he went into Skarm instead of Raikou because I don't know, like that transition didn't make sense to me, but that's okay. So I'm going to protect these hits, and once again, going to put in more work, and Raikou is Perish Trapped. This is just fantastic. Von Karma putting in so much freaking work in this battle. Now, I derp once again here, and don't realize that I'm going to lose my Gengar, and how much I desperately need this thing to wall Snorlax, but my retarded self protects and lets it die, but I get a Raikou off the trade, so I guess it's worth it. So now I need to decide what to go into. I'm almost clicked Muck, because if he goes to Executor, my Vaporeon doesn't have an ice move, so technically Vaporeon can't really respectively deal with it, but he just goes out into Cloyster instead. Now, Muck can probably set up on Cloyster, but I predict Thallium to come back in, predicting my Muck switch again, and finally the Steel type is out of my way. Just a couple of good predicted shots getting it out of the way, and now comes this thing, this Snorlax. Now, right here is where I kind of need to go to Muck, but I also want to go to my body double and Lovely Kiss him, but I just decided to set up the Reflect versus to see what he decides to do. So he decides to start cursing up because he thinks he's people and cool, and I can just roar him away. So that's not a big deal. Under the Reflect, I don't take Jack Diddley Ball Squid Shot from any kind of physical attack, even +1. So now I'm going to go into Dick Gunk Shoe. I feel like this is the time right here. If there was a time, it's going to be now. I'm going to curse one time, predicting him to go into probably Executor. I am not slower. Now, why I do not go for Sludge Bomb on this turn is beyond me. I do not understand what I just did. I just made a big stupid right here, because locking myself into Sleep Talk and having to pretty much chance my factor of which attack I was going to get is a very big deal. I would love to see what you guys think down below. I feel like had I gone for Sludge Bomb there, I could have wrecked house with Muck. Like, it would have just been ridiculous. So now I need to come back from this. I'm going to go back out on my body double. I do have the Fire Blast. It really won't do too much. I'm predicting this stupid thing to switch in. I want to Lovely Kiss him because he's going to be a massive threat. Now, the biggest thing is one thing I want to ask you, when you have a mono attacking Snorlax, just so you guys understand, you need to run a Pursuit Trapper to deal with any ghosts that try to check the set. But when you run a mono attacking Snorlax, that's exactly what you run. So you run Rest as your final move, right? Right. So, Scarming Walls this thing to all hell. I'm going to start cursing up with my own Scarm, and as you guys already see this coming, you guys know it's coming, it's going to come right now. This big, massive tidal wave, Dragon War Monsters 2 attack reference, he gets a very relevant critical hit, and now I can go out to Damon Gant. Now, I would love to start a tally of how many times I forget in this particular battle that my Raikou is just sitting here sleeping, just having a real good chill time, needs to be wake-up slapped, but he's chilling, sleeping, he's not really worried about it. Now, at this point, since Gengar is out of the way, I'm really surprised he doesn't explode right here, but he goes for Psychic. I don't really understand that transition either. I feel like exploding was a really good idea. So now that I realize that that's still relevant, I just go out to Vaporeon because he's going to explode on something. The fact that he miscued on that very first turn, somehow thinking that Gengar methodically just, appeared in a shadow somewhere and wasn't actually dead. So now he goes out and then on a Fat Man, his big old Curse-lax mono attack, and you guys are gonna see because it's so relevant. Anyways, so just continue body slamming this thing. He doesn't wake up yet. Now I've got to keep this thing in a position where he's sleeping because he doesn't have. Because if he has Rest, he has Sleep Talk. So I mean, I've already seen Sleep Talk. I don't know if he has Rest. It really doesn't matter because he can just Sleep Talk. But if he doesn't have Rest, then he's not going to be recovering any HP, which is fantastic. So I put him in a pretty decent range from killing him off, but I'm really slowing down to the poison. He does catch the return on the Rest Talk, so that again doesn't tell me what his last move is. Now, do remember I have he has a Cloyster and a Snorlax, and I have just a simple little lonely Raikou with Spark and Hidden Power Ice and Rest Talk. Oh god, I feel like this is Maverick Hunter Vile all over again. So anyway, gonna go for the return. Through the Rest Talk, I'm down to 262 after residual leftovers. Now, what I need to do here is do my best if I can hit Sparks. If I can put him in a position of paralysis, I'll either force his Rest if he has it, and if he doesn't have it, well, I'm not sure, because I don't even know. So, very irrelevant turns. I sped this up a lot. We're just sparking and returning back and forth, trying to figure out what's going to happen here. I'm at 109, and he curses right here. He told me that he didn't want me to rest and he could just attack me. So here's a relevant situation. He doesn't have Rest. The only other thing I could think of would be Fire Blast. But anyway, that was the game. I took one Surf from the finishing Cloyster and finished off with Spark. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Snorlax mono attacking with Fire Blast. Totally not relevant, but I guess it's to check Skarmory and still, Rest Talk and then return everything. Wait a minute, Curse, Rest. So it's Curse, Fire Blast, Sleep Talk, and return. Again, that makes no sense. You'd have to come in on something that actually slept you, but it happens. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. I totally did a fast narration as far as like in the beginning we were just go time go. My opponent was Shinoa. I have been finding people and giving them like a week to study the metagame and stuff and then finding people because let's face it, Pokemon Showdown and many other things have taken over the Pokemon community as far as that, especially to AEROBLAST Wi-Fi. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you guys did, you guys know the rules. Rate, comment, subscribe. Peace out, objection! Find the computer room and peace.